Hello everyone. In the US today, there's roughly 70 million animals, this includes dogs and cats, that are homeless. And of these 70 million, only 7 to 8 million actually get filtered into shelters throughout the United States, as stated by the Humane Society of the US. Many animals are without a home because they're either on the streets or in shelters. This is caused by a number of reasons, which include overbreeding, misconceptions about sheltered animals, and lack of responsibility. But there are ways to help these animals, such as donation, adoption, and spreading awareness. In my first statement, I said a percentage of these animals gets filtered into shelters, and I use the word filtered because shelters are not a permanent home for these animals. This is just a short path in the hopes of finding them a permanent, loving home. But the reality is that 2.7 million dogs are euthanized according to the Humane Society. And for those of you who may not know, euthanization is when you put something to death in a humane way. Another reason there are so many dogs in shelters is because there's a big misconception that shelter dogs are damaged, ugly, or not purebreds. But all these misconceptions couldn't be further from the truth. As stated by the University of Weyer, located in Carlsbad, 20 to 30% of dogs in shelters are actually purebreds. So within shelters, you see a whole range of dogs, from the loud barking one to the quiet, shy one, to many types of breeds, which this leads into another reason why there are so many dogs without a home. Typically, purebred dogs are forced to breed with one another. This happens in places that are called puppy mills. Within these puppy mills, there's a lot of cruelty and neglect, including overbreeding and overpopulation, which leads to short lifespans and a lot of health issues. The process in puppy mills is that they breed dogs and then sell them to actual dog stores to be purchased and bought into a home. However, the breeders only sell their best dogs out of the litter, so the rest of that litter is left there with health problems and neglect, and a lot of times put to the streets. Another reason there are so many homeless dogs is people realize the animal is either too much to care for, or they move and can't bring them with them, so they kick them to the streets instead of taking responsibility and trying to find a new home for them. Now, I want to show you a video describing a dog's life in a puppy mill.
A dog's life is a good life, but not all dogs get to live it. Many are kept captive in puppy mills by the cruel breeding industry. They spend their entire lives in cramped cages, pumping out puppies for profit, never setting a paw on green grass, living a life barred from love. Dog lovers, unite. It's time to end cruel breeding. Let's speak up for our friends who can't speak for themselves. How? Share the truth about the cruel breeding industry with other dog lovers. Join the fight for love on social media. And when you're ready for a dog, don't support cruelty. Adopt a dog from a shelter or rescue.
Now that I've covered some of the statistics and misconceptions about sheltered animals, here are some ways we can help limit the number of homeless dogs in the streets and in shelters. The main solution is to adopt from shelters. Adopting from a shelter is much cheaper, and a lot of times they already come with their health shots that they need. However, adopting a dog is a huge responsibility and should not be taken lightly. But if you don't want to adopt a dog, that's not an issue. There are other ways to help, such as donating, such as different items that the dogs may need or that the shelter may need to provide for the animals, or money to purchase those things. Another way you can help is fostering a puppy. This means you'll care for a puppy from anywhere from a few weeks to a few months. The purpose of fostering is to help these puppies back to life for those who have been injured for whatever reason, or just to help them find a new home, is essentially a stepping stone. The LaBelle Foundation has an amazing foster program, which they're located in Los Angeles, that is focused on helping dogs find a new loving home that's permanent. A campaign that was started is called the High Five for a Pet Adoption, that is partnered with PetSmart charities to help spread awareness about this issue and guide people in how they can help and hopefully share their story if they decide to adopt. Now, the ASPCA, which stands for the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty of Animals, has set up a national campaign called No Pet Store Puppies. This refers to puppy mills, and this is their way to receive donations and spread awareness for the cause. Every year, PetSmart charities help 400,000 animals get adopted. This is a huge step in the right direction, and they're able to do so with your help, whether it's adopting, donating, fostering, and just making others aware of the situation and how dramatic it is. Now, if there's any questions at this time, I would love to answer them. But for now, I encourage you to help those that can't help themselves, whether it's donating, adopting, fostering, and just spreading awareness. Do what's best for not only these animals, but also yourself. Thank you.